Appreciate you joining me today. Hope you're having a good day. The passage we're going to be looking at today is the passage pertaining to the Tower of Babel, Genesis chapter 11. The hymn that we're going to be looking at is a hymn I've never heard before. The hymn is called Have You Counted the Cost?
There's a line that is drawn by rejecting our Lord, where the call of His Spirit is lost, and you hurry along with the pleasure mad throng. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? Have you counted the cost? If your soul should be lost, though you gain the whole world for your own, even now it may be that the line you have crossed. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost?
Appreciate you again, Lee, singing these for us. I've never heard that one before. And it's a powerful hymn. Based, of course, on a passage in the New Testament, but hopefully we can see how it would apply to our passage today. Tower of Babel, Genesis 11, verse 1. Now the whole earth had one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And then they said to one another, Come, let us make bricks, and bake them thoroughly. They had brick for stone, they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language. And this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down, and there confuse their language. And the people would end up being scattered. Have you counted the cost? You know, they said, we want to make a name for ourselves. And we can do the same thing. We just want to make a name for ourselves. We just want to make something for ourselves. We just want whatever it is. We just want this for ourselves. And that's what these folks were doing. We want to make a name for ourselves. I think a lot of people would look at that and they would say, well, that's good. That's good. Make something. You know, a lot of folks in this world, they don't make anything. That's not these folks. These folks are hard workers. They're real hard workers. And they're making a name for themselves. That's what they want to do. Let's make a name for ourselves. And they are hard workers. They're not just hard workers. They get along well with others. What I mean by that is they're working together. See, some folks, they're hard workers, but they're only hard workers on their own. They don't play well with others. To use that analogy. Well, these folks, they got along. They got along real well. They had one language. says. They had one language, they had one speech, and they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks. Let us build ourselves a city. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." They just wanted to make a home, is what they wanted. And a lot of folks would think, well, man, that's not what's the big deal? What's so bad about that? They just want to make a name for themselves. They want to make a city for themselves. They want to make a home. You can tell they were journeyers. They journeyed. And they were tired of journeying. They were coming from the east, heading towards the Mediterranean, coming down out of the mountains, perhaps, some people say. They found a plain, and they dwelt there. And they said, well, this looks like this is the spot. But the thing is, they were not doing what the Lord wanted them to do. The Lord wanted them to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And they're not obeying the Lord. And that's the thing. They were thinking about themselves. Just like that foolish farmer who said, "Soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry." I wonder what these folks in Genesis 11 would have said if they ever got their tower finished, if they ever got their building done, if they ever got their city complete. I wonder if they also would have said, "Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry." We know what the Lord said to the foolish farmer. "You fool, tonight your soul will be required of you. And then whose will these things be? Let's make something for ourselves," they said. There's only one thing you can take with you when you think about it. And it speaks about it in Revelation. "Blessed are those who die in the Lord, for their works follow them." That's not talking about stuff. We're not taking stuff with it. We're not taking stuff. And so we lay up for ourselves treasure in heaven. And we remember that we're still just pilgrims and sojourners. And we better be real careful living in our homes and meeting in our buildings and dwelling in places that have foundations. We better always remember. That we're just pilgrims. And we better do what the Lord tells us to do. Always. Unity is a good thing and hard work is a good thing, but only if it's united with the Lord and only if it's working for the Lord. That's the only way it's a good thing. And in the Tower of Babel, they weren't doing what the Lord wanted them to do. Hope this brief study's been helpful for you. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.